everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to Starting 11. Snark here. Snark flying solo. Going solo today. Also, Snark maybe coming down with a bit of a cold. So if you sound a little, a little more mysterious, maybe that's the word I could use. Something maybe a little more. Maybe there's a little more something to the voice. Now you know why. Just got a cold. So that's it. Didn't do anything special, But anyway, speaking of something special, or not being anything special, I guess we could talk about the first match from Matchweek 13. Brighton, Southampton, and Southampton traveling to the Amex. They're both the southern teams. Now, first 30 minutes filled with chances for Brighton. Eventually, Tarek Lamptey is going to play a perfect ball in for Matoma's head. They put the hosts up 1-0, 29 minutes in. That's only his third goal of the season. He got hurt just before or just after the Asian Cup last year. He's never really been the same since. Too bad. I'm not a huge Brighton fan, but I like Matoma. I wish he'd do better for them. And they're having a great year, but I guess you can't have everything. Can't have everything, Brighton. Besides, Chelsea will just take it from you. Anyways, Southampton is going to level the game in the second half. They bring the ball into the box. Brighton defenders block two shots, but the third they can't get to. It's Flynn Downs finding its way through into the back of the net in the 59th minute. And then 7 minutes later, they think they take the lead, but Cam Archer, clearly offside. Not only him, but Adam Armstrong as well, by like 2 strides and stuff like that. Not great. Now, this game will come to an end in a draw. This moves the Seagulls at that time, mind you, into second spot. The Premier League social media guys decide, we're going to jump on this. Let's ask the Brighton fans how they feel. Their teams moved all the way up into second place. If I was a Brighton fan, I'd be horrified because they just gave up the first point to Southampton on the road all year. They could only manage a draw versus the Southampton Saints. That's something you don't go bragging about. I don't care if it puts you in first place. You know what I mean? Maybe it's first place, but second place with every other game you have to play. So there you go. Let's get to those other games. First one, Brentford and Leicester. That's a matchup everybody tunes in Saturday morning to watch. Now, the day before this, Ruud van Nistelrooy gets appointed as the new manager. The good ship Leicester. Is that a good ship? I don't know. The ruddy ship Leicester. Anyways, the new skipper. Anyways, congrats to him. He does. He wishes, of course, he could have stayed on at United, but Amarim wanted to bring in his own guys. So he pivots. He finds a spot in the Premier League, so good for him. He does not have control of the team. For this match, it's their first team coach, Ben Dawson, in charge. And maybe Ruud had a couple of, second thoughts while watching his new club in action because they weren't sharp now at the GTEC Stadium for this. They did take the first goal. Leicester, they could get it through Facundo Bonanotti, who's having a really good season. He scores 21 minutes in. Jamie Vardy with a heck of a play down low to find him the ball. His power is too strong for his defender. Gets away from him, gets the ball up front, and Bonanotti with the goal. But from there, it's all Brentford. And aside from Jon Wissa's equalizer in the 25th minute, it's the Kevin Shaw show because he scores 3 goals. His first goals, I believe, since April of last year. Hat trick out of nowhere for Kevin Shaw. So congratulations to him. Brentford win 4-1. Going to move on. We're going to move on to the City Ground. Forest looking to snap a 2-game skid here. Got a good opponent to do that against with Ipswich Town in your own park. Now, this game was tighter maybe than I think Forest fans would like to believe or admit, including they could thank their lucky stars that they had Ola Aina on the back line. defending the line because Cam Burgess' header comes in. Ina standing on the line in the right spot at the right time to knock the ball as it comes to the line, knocks it out. Then we go. What is he? Yeah, so about the 23rd minute or whatever that goes in. And then the match is decided in her staff extras. Sam Schmodich judged to have stepped on Joda Silva's toe in the area. Now, guys, I'm just a regular, some would say middle-aged Canadian. You know what I mean? But if someone steps on my little toe, I don't jump 4 feet forward with my head and arms back like this, roll around a while. But he did, and he gets the call. There's some, this could have been an example for Jadon Sancho last week. If you get the knock on, you just go down. This guy went really down. You flew through the air for 3 feet. Anyways, here comes Chris Wood up to the spot. He scores. That's his 9th of the season already. Good for Chris. But somehow, at his 24th for his club, that's the tied for the most in club history at the Premier League level. 24 goals. It was a low bar to reach, guys. And wait 1 second here. We got good company here. We got a fellow Canadian. Ryan Christensen asks, is it just me or does Snark cheer for teams who just wear blue? Cheer for the Raptors. They wear purple. So there you go. Other than that, I think you're right. Jets, a couple different types of blue. Bombers are blue. Chelsea, good old blue. Blue Jays. There you go. Yeah, so you're right. Now, moving on from force. Hold on 1 second, guys. This is a Coca-Cola Classic. It's bumming up on me. When I say classic, I mean no sugar. That's it. Now, Palace and Newcastle. Interesting matchup here. Palace just hasn't been able to score all year, and you just don't know when you get at Newcastle. Like a box of chocolates. I think somebody said that once. Know what I mean? Anyways, Newcastle only managed the 1 goal. So they draw at Selhurst Park somehow. What's up with Newcastle? Anyways, the weird thing about this is that Newcastle didn't even register a shot on net. They score a goal without registering a shot on net. Their goal comes in the 53rd minute. It's from a free kick, and Anthony Gordon has to play center forward again. Another injury to Alexander Isak, forcing Gordon up top, where he isn't great. I guess he's serviceable for them, and I guess he's better than some of the replacements that they could have or whatever. He can fit there, but Anthony Gordon, center forward spot. I don't get it. I'm sure this isn't the long-term solution for him. Anyways, he gets the ball down low. His centering pass gets knocked in by Palace captain Mark Gahey. Mark Gahey had a little bit of that's what people talking about him this week. I'm not going to get into it. But also former Chelsea guy, Mark Gahey. So there you go. Now, usually 1 goal against Palace is all you'll ever need. You could score a goal in the first 30 seconds and coast the rest of the way because usually Palace just can't score. They have no one to score. But Palace was pressing in this game. Palace was competing in this matchup. And in the 4th minute extra time, they finally get what they deserved. And it's going to be Daniel Munoz. Daniel Munoz had a really good game. He had a great chance in the first half, and he just puts it wide. He has another chance in the second half that somehow Dan Byrne, of all people, gets to keep it out. But this time, he gets a chance. He scores. Palace get a draw at home. Now, that draw actually puts them past Everton in the 16th place. They got a little breathing room away from that relegation line somehow, considering they may have the lowest. There's a chance they could have the lowest combined score or goal differential in Premier League history, and yet not get relegated, but we'll see. Still lots of time to go here. Anyways, Newcastle's 11th. They're only 3 points behind 6th. For as bad as they've been, they're only 3 points. They're a win behind 4th and 6th. So there you go. Wolves and Bournemouth. Wolves get 2 goals from Jørgen Strand Larsen, as you would expect, because he has become the guy there. He is having a really good season. But in the Premier League first, Justin Kluivert scores 3 penalties. One's in the 3rd, another in the 18th, and finally one in the 74th minute. Now, Milos Krikesh also scored for the Cherries. Wolves defending in the box is terrible. It's awful. But that caused the first penalty in 3 minutes in. The guy just putting his foot in where he shouldn't, goes down. I believe it was Kluivert with the ball at that time. And then Jose Sa. So Jose Sa, I think, gets a little unlucky on one. He goes to clear the ball, but doesn't keep his head up. You got to pay attention. Sure, as a keeper, pay attention. And ends up kicking the ball into Evan Nilsson. Evan Nilsson goes down because this guy, I could make a joke about going down. You guys, it's a family show. All right? Goodness gracious. Anyways, Evan Nilsson goes down. Penalties awarded. And then for the last penalty, Jose Sa takes down Evan Nilsson again. But this time it's Craig Dawson's fault. Just an awful back pass. Sa was in a position where if he doesn't take Dawson down, well, at least he attempted to make it look like he was playing the ball. There was no chance he was playing the ball. He gets to the spot. He gets what am I talking about here? Oh my goodness, I don't have Adelia and everything falls to pieces. Justin Kluivert. Justin Kluivert goes back to the spot for this. He scores again. Wolves, their own worst enemies. They are their own worst enemies. They played fine. It's just, when they got the ball past center. As soon as that ball goes into their own end, they are scrambling. They're a mess. They are a mess. Come on, Gary O'Neill. Do better. I think you know which side of the pitch they should be focusing their practice on this week. Now, we move to the last game for Saturday. London Derby. I think at one time may have been a big one, 100 years ago. I'm just kidding. West Ham and Arsenal. Arsenal traveling to London Stadium this time. West Ham, no one's ever going to say that they're not gracious hosts because they decided to spot Arsenal of all clubs, a 4-goal lead within 36 minutes. First one, Gabriel heads in a Bukayo Saka corner. This is what they do. They score from set plays. They're so good at it. It drives me nuts. Then Leo Trossard is the beneficiary of some tremendous passing. Saka gets the assist on it, but it's really Martin Odegaard's play. Just the soft touch flick pass to get it to Saka. It puts it across. And maybe it's a good thing that Kai Havertz dives to put it in and misses, and Leo Trossard just wide alone. On the other side of the net, puts it in easily, 3-0. And then Saka gets taken down in the box by Lucas Paqueta in the 32nd minute. Now, how many of you want to bet that Lucas Paqueta knew he would be called for a foul in the box in the 32nd minute? I'm sure, or close to there. I can bet you he had a pretty good idea. Anyways, Martin Odegaard decides to take the ball for this one. He scores. He gets it past. He gets it just past Fabianski's fingers for the goal. I was surprised. I think Saka is just their kicker. Just give it to Saka, and especially when you're the captain, you don't just take it. But maybe it's something they wanted for him. Maybe it's something they discussed. He's been, since Odegaard's been back, Arsenal has been that club that looked, I would say more dangerous, over the last couple of years. I wouldn't say they're frightening at all. You know what I mean? But they look in far better shape was Odegaard on the pitch, and that's for sure. The fourth goal, now coming out of now some people are starting to trickle out by this point. This is 32 minutes in. People are starting to trickle out. They've had enough. They want to get out of that 60 or 70,000 seat stadium as fast as they can. Built for the Olympics, guys, and then given to West Ham. Whatever. Then just 2 minutes later, it's Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz gets the ball played out to him. The West Ham defense is playing this high line, and when I say high, everybody was at the center line. Ball gets played. I think Havertz may have even been on his own side of the half anyways, but he wasn't offside in either case. Just the ball gets played, he gets out. Somebody tries to get back to make a play on it, but he misses as well. Havertz comes in, he scores to make it 4-0. It was Max Kilman. Max Kilman's the one who came in. Weird play. Why don't he just keep running with him? It's Kai Havertz. Make him make a move. Anyways, didn't matter. Then I think the Gunners get a little guilty of coasting here because 2 minutes after that, West Ham get one back. It's Wan-Bissaka. A nice pass across from Carlos Soler to find him on the far corner coming in. Booted the heck out of the ball to get it in there, too. Wan-Bissaka scores. I think that's 2 in 2 games for Bissaka, which is weird. And then, real nice goal coming up. It's Emerson. Free kick from about 24 yards out. Hammers this thing. It goes off the crossbar and in. Bottom of the crossbar and in to make it 4-2. Meanwhile, everybody had already left. Maybe a couple people milling around. I don't know. There isn't too many that made it back into the stadium, actually, though. There's a fifth goal in the first half. I think this, they said, is the fourth time that 7 goals have ever been scored in the first half of a Premier League game. But the fifth goal, it's a penalty, and the corner comes in, and Gabriel again goes up to head it, and Fabianski goes to try to punch it away. Now, the ball, I believe, does hit Gabriel's head, and then over the goal. But when Fabianski was coming out like this, he goes like this. Now, I saw 5 or 6 different angles of this. Not what point do I ever see Fabianski not only not hit Gabriel, I think that's perfectly clear. He doesn't hit him, but doesn't even make contact with him. But Gabriel goes down on the ground. He starts rolling around. It's Anthony Taylor there. And you know how his friends up in the booth hate to disagree with his calls. So he points to the spot. The VAR upheld it. Saka goes up this time to score the penalty, and the guy who should be doing it doesn't. I have no problem with the story. Like what was it? West Ham was going to come back. No. West Ham were trash. Second half, Arsenal just shut everything down. Just played it out so that no one would get hurt. You know what I mean? For 45 minutes. It's just, come on. There's so many. You guys are so inconsistent. Like, it wasn't even, like, if I could see if, like, he was moving into him. He was just moving in a straight line, puts the ball up. He misses the ball, but he doesn't get any Gabriel in. I don't know. Bizarre. Anyways, Arsenal get 5 goals. Give up 2. And this is going to be important later on. And I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But it'll be an interesting standings thing to talk about in a minute. Now, we're going to go Sunday now. Early Sunday morning. Manchester United. Early Sunday morning for me. Manchester United at home at Old Trafford. They get Everton. If you're going to get a first win under your belt for Ruben Amorim, this is it. And guess what, guys? Spoiler alert, they get it. Now, it's a 4-0 win. Really no trouble at all taking care of the Toffees here. He gets a brace on either side of the halves from Marcus Rashford and Joshua Zirkzee. And if Amorim's going to right the ship in Manchester, which is, You beat Everton. If it's going to right the ship, he's going to need to get guys like Rashford and Xerxes going, and Xerxes looked better with him at the helm. I think Rashford now has 3 goals in 2 games for him. Scored that first one within 80 seconds or whatever last game, and then United were not very good for the rest of that match. But yeah, they were good enough on this day to easily handle Everton 4-0. Congratulations to Ruben Amorim for getting a Premier League win under your belt. There you go. Don't ever say anything nice about United. Did I say anything nice? I just congratulated the guy. Anyways, I'll say it's nice. Moving on. Spurs and Fulham. Are there 2 teams I like talking about less? The Spurs and Fulham. The London derby that no one cares for at all. So, Spurs are coming back to North London after demolishing City at the Etihad. Was it the first time Spurs had lost there in 56 games or something? They went 4-0 against City at the Etihad. They come home to a Fulham squad who had just given up 4 goals to Wolves. So, Spurs should be, heavily thinking pretty good about themselves. Should have, a little strut to their step, thinking, all right, we're turning this thing around. And then they remember, oh, yeah, we're the Tottenham Hotspurs. So we go to the North London Sump Pit for the action, and there's no scoring. And of course, in the first half, we have to go to the 54th minute of the match before Timo Werner plays a real nice pass. So this is a lob cross across the pitch, or across the box into Brennan Johnson's way. He one-times it into the net to take a 1-0 lead. But Fulham doesn't back down. Fulham actually played really well. Maybe deserved a little bit better. They had a very good first half. They couldn't just, they're Fulham. They fumble about a bit. They couldn't find a way to get through, but Tom Kearney sure does in the second half. He gets the ball at the top of the box, and his strike curls far corner and in, far side of the post, not in the corner. Now, in the 80th minute, speaking of Tom Kearney, Fulham captain, by the way, he gets dispossessed. Now the ball gets over to Kulusevski. He comes running behind Kulusevski, sticks his foot out, and spikes him in the calf. Now, originally, the ref, Darren Bond, he shows him a yellow card, and VAR says, what? No, look at this thing. So he goes to the booth. It does not take long before he says, oh, yeah. That's a red card. So, red card on Tom Cairns. Now, it ends up not mattering much. It was, even though they played I think it was 8 extra minutes. So they had almost 18 extra minutes to work with for Spurs, but they did nothing with it. It was kind of laughable, actually. Fulham hold on. They take a point from Spurs. Spurs get 1 point as well. But, you got to capitalize when you have an extra player, especially with that much time. I just don't understand Spurs. I think it's funny. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever bet on the Spurs to do anything. You know what I mean? Even if you're a fan, don't bet on them to win. Don't bet on them to lose. And you can't bet on them to draw because you just don't know what this team is. You have no idea. They should have been riding high. Unreal. A 1-1 tie with Fulham. Now, to the good news. Everybody, Chelsea takes on Villa. Guys, I said it before, I said it again. Not a Villa fan. Can't stand them. So it stays like this. Cold. Snow blowing. Sunday morn in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I need games like this to warm my dark, cold heart. Pardon me. Enzo Maresca finds a way to get Romeo Lavia Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez on the pitch because, lo and behold, Reece James is hurt again, guys. Who knows how long the captain will be out this time, but, they've been shuffling some things. Malo Gusto, of course, had picked up an injury. He wasn't feeling 100%, so he eventually gets brought on later for, I think it was 10 minutes or something like that, 12 minutes. But I like this look with Lavia back there, with him running up in the Reece James style, being able to go a little more forward. Look good. Who else looked good? Mark Cucurella, a guy. That first year I gave him so much shit. Guys, I really did give him shit, but he's turning around for me. Ooh, excuse me. Now, he comes after a loose ball, runs through Jaden. Wow, guys. Jaden Philogene trying to tackle him. He has his foot up. Cucurella just goes through it. No call, obviously. The call would have been on Philogene, if anything. And he finds Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson right in front. Gets the ball over to him. Nicholas Jackson absolutely hits the ball as hard as he can. Goes short side off the post and beats Emi Martinez. Chelsea go up 1-0. It's after 7 minutes. About 7 or 8 minutes later, Ollie Watkins makes Wesley Fofana eat his lunch. Just absolutely leaves him in the dirt. Fofana's out. He gets in on Robert Sanchez alone and kicks it right to him. Kicks it hard to him. Sanchez is there, makes a leg save, holds on to the ball. Nice save. It's a nice save, but, Watkins has to do more than that. They all have to do more than that. Because as weird as the city's been poor, Villa's been poor too. And I think we were talking about it last week. It might just be Champions League play. Maybe this is just too much for a team like Villa. It's called knowing your place. Okay, Villa? What did The Rock say? Know your role. Is that what he said? Your role is like ninth. Okay? Don't forget it. Now, a few minutes after this, I guess it was about 7 minutes after that as well. One of the weirdest plays, I don't even remember the last time I saw this happen, but the ball gets played by Cole Palmer. Now, Martinez makes a save. Pau Torres is going to tap the ball back to him, and he picks it up. When he picks it up, that's a pass back in the box, which means that there's a rare free kick in the penalty area for Chelsea. The unfortunate thing is that it's from about 8 yards out, and there's no way anybody's ever practiced this. So they line up for it. I think it's Palmer with the shot. It just goes off the wall. Nothing really comes of it. It's just an odd play, and it takes a long time to set up. Like I said, I can't remember the last time I saw an in-the-box free kick. And maybe it's because of this. It doesn't really amount to anything. It's a strange play. Anyways, Enzo Fernandez does get a second goal for Chelsea, heading a ball in. Now, this is 2 games in a row where Enzo scored. Maybe everything's coming now. You can put the captain band back on him. He's had to sit a couple of games to learn, you have to fight every minute you're on that pitch. He's played much better the last couple of games, especially. Getting some goals. He's loving it. And then the scoring wraps up in the 83rd minute with the people, like the commentators talking about Cole Palmer. And, they're a little sleepy on him and stuff like that. Well, Cole Palmer hasn't had much of anything. All this is actually kind of true. He hasn't had the best of things. He's getting marked out. Just fine. He's still a young kid. He has to figure out how to play through this. But this Villa defense just decides to give him space at the top of the box. He takes a couple of steps with the ball, then launches a strike that goes through 2 defenders, rounds, goes high, and into the top corner. There's no way Martinez is stopping this. Fantastic goal by Cole Palmer to get off the schneid. give Chelsea a 3-0 lead. Now, Wesley Fofana does end up getting hurt. He's taken off. Wesley Fofana, another guy who just can't be healthy, it seems, for any stretch of the time. Benoit Badiashile comes in. I worry about that, but he ended up being fine. All right, he ended up being okay. I was worried, though. I was worried the entire time he was under the 15 or 16 minutes. But, yeah, he did fine. Good for him. Good Chelsea win. Robert Sanchez earning his first clean sheet at home all season, which is nuts to say, considering this is Chelsea. And Phil is an absolute mess. Now, I said before about the weird statistical thing that's going to happen with the table. Chelsea and Arsenal have the exact same record. They're the same goals scored against. They have the same goal differential, same amount of wins. They have everything's the same. So Arsenal gets second place because of alphabetical order, which is nuts. It's nuts, guys. Now, last match. A matchup that a lot of these people have been waiting for. Maybe if it came a month and a half sooner, it would have been much better. But we get Liverpool at Anfield at home to City. And Pep Guardiola bringing his, what's a nice way to say it, slumping side to the Mercy side. And Arne Slot's doing a fine job, steering Jurgen Klopp's ship. So he's really not made any changes, guys. How does Klopp feel? Has to fight City for so long. The year he decides to pack it in, City turned to garbage. Anyways, his loss, I guess. We'll see what happens. I still just don't have faith in Liverpool. Something about them is, tingling my spidey senses. You know what I mean? Now, 11 minutes in, Virgil van Dijk has a great chance. He heads the ball, but it goes off the post. Moments after that, Mo Salah shows that he's not just a scorer guy. He has a tremendous touch when it comes to passing. He gets the ball down low. He goes up into the crease a little bit, goes across the box, and he finds Cody Gakpo at the corner. Cody Gakpo just kind of knees it in because it's right at his shins. Basically Salah just used him as a pylon to put the ball in himself. But it goes to Cody Gakpo. Liverpool lead. Man City. When I say they didn't pressure much, there was not much of anything to them. They had 57% of the ball in this match. They had over 100 more touches. In total, they had 8 shots at target and only 2 on. It's for a City squad that still has everybody. Well, it has Haaland. The only difference, they don't have Rodri. So, is this the reason why Rodri wins the Ballon d'Or? It's because he's not there, City falls to pieces. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's been the key, and everybody else saw it. Everybody else in Europe saw it. I was, what are you talking about? Rodri. I didn't even think he was the best player on their team. And there you go. They can't score. They run around. Defensively, terrible. Defensively, they're so awful. We're gonna go into the game into the second half. A blunder at the back or whatever. Mo Salah comes in on a breakaway, going in on Stefan Ortega, who had to start for this match for some reason. I don't know why Ederson didn't play, but they had Ortega in. So he goes in. He's all alone, but he puts the ball over the net. Not very Salah-like. He seems to take it in stride, though. He runs back. Now, Ruben Diaz come back, and he has a bit of a blunder. He gives the ball up to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz scampers into the area. This time, Ortega takes him out. Is it? Was there a lot of acting? Yes. because it's Luis Diaz. But did Ortega make contact with Diaz? Yeah, he did. So penalties awarded. This time, they point Sala gets the ball. He is not going to miss for a second time. I think what they say it's a 6th game in a row scoring against City or something like that. He's pretty good. Thank you, of course, the special one. We've won the Premier League titles, but why'd you let Mo Salah go? Of all people. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Liverpool go 9 points up on Chelsea and Arsenal. 11 points up on City, which is crazy. City have now lost 4 Premier League matches in a row, winless in 7 overall in all competitions. Bananas. So, guys, that was it for week 13. Week 14, it's already started. We made some predictions last week. The games today that happened, let's see. Oh, Ruud van Nistelrooy had his debut at Kings Power Stadium. He guided the Foxes to a win, 3-1 over West Ham. Congratulations to Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's now unbeaten on the year through 2 teams. He had that draw against Chelsea. And then Palace getting a road win, which is something they desperately needed. Again, going up to Ipswich Town, maybe you should consider those are the games you have to win if you're Crystal Palace to stay out of relegation. And I don't think they deserve to be there. They just got to score. Holy Glasser's got to find a way to get them to score. Anyways, Adelia and I picked both those games last week. We chose the losers, both matches. So, yeah, good start for her and I. We also, I believe, tied last week with 6 wins apiece. A little prediction thing that we do. So we'll see what happens as we do a double week this week. Thank you. Nationals games that you have to play because now I got 20 games to talk about, actually 18 left, but I'll talk a little bit about those other 2 matches next week because I think I'm just going to go down by teams, make it a little easier on myself. So we go to matches that start tomorrow. We got Everton and Wolves. Both Adelia and I picking Wolves in that one. City and Forest. Adelia's picking City. I went for a draw because wouldn't it just be funny just to make it 8 games winless? I think it'd be fun. And City win at home. There you go. Maybe they could draw at home as well. Castle and Liverpool, we each pick Liverpool, obviously. Southampton, Chelsea, we both picked Chelsea because we're so smart. Arsenal, Man United, we also both picked Arsenal because I guess she likes Arsenal. You know what I mean? I didn't want to upset her. Villa and Brentford, we split this one. She went with Villa. I went with Brentford. Again, what's Villa been doing? They haven't been great. Fulham and Brighton at the Cottage. We both picked Brighton. Bournemouth and Spurs. I got Bournemouth. She's got Spurs. She's got Spurs on the road at Bournemouth. Bournemouth's been fine. I think they're up to the task for Spurs. But we'll see. Everton, Liverpool, the Merseyside derby, guys. Yeah, that should be easy wins for Liverpool. We both chose that. Villa, Southampton. We both chose Villa to end the schneid against the Saints. Brentford and Newcastle. I picked Brentford. She picked draw, which I think is a good bet for that one. Palace and City. This is where City gets out this night. City is going to take their frustrations out on Crystal Palace. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the folks at Selhurst Park. They're going to pay to watch that. Not great. Man U and Forest. I picked a draw. She's got Man United to win. Yeah. I still don't trust Manchester United, guys. What are you going to do? Fulham and Arsenal. London derby. We both pick Arsenal to be Fulham. It shouldn't be a problem for them. Ipswich and Bournemouth. We're both picking Bournemouth. If, Ipswich is going to lose to Palace at home. They're not going to beat Bournemouth at home, I guess. Leicester and Brighton. We both got Brighton. Spurs and Chelsea. We both do the correct thing and pick Chelsea. Chelsea's home away from home. I think we have the best winning percentage at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium of anybody that plays there. Even that. Then West Ham and Wolves. I went with Wolves. She went with a draw. I don't know why she had that much faith. And West Ham, guys, thanks for bearing with me as I suffer through a bit of a cold while I'm talking here. Hopefully I'll be better for Thursday over on the Entertainment Network, talking with Adelia and I don't know, maybe a young Ferris Muthana on the Rewatchers Council. That's our full 144 episode rewatch of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're going to be watching one of my top 5 Buffy episodes of all time and talking about it. The Wish. It's so good. I can't wait. What else? LGRN after Snark. We're going to take the week off. I'm going to be in the United States of America this coming weekend, so I'll have the week off. We'll be back in a couple weeks. We'll talk about something. What else we got? I think that's about it. Guys, follow along with the Let's Get Ready Network. You can find us on Blue Sky and all those other bananas things that I rarely ever visit. But yeah, we'll have more information for all our shows. There's tons of them. Lots of post-credit things. Lots of things here on the highlights, including Good Friends, Better Rivals with Caleb and Ferris. It's all good. Thanks so much for watching / listening. And guys, we will see you for 20 matches next time. Bye-bye.